Hi everybody, welcome to today's video request. So today's video request was for a 30 to 40 minute heart opening, hip opening flow practice. So for this one, you're going to need a couple of blankets and you're going to need a little bit of a wall. You don't need a lot of space on it, but just somewhere that you can use for a little bit later on in the practice. Okay, so I'm just going to sit up on my blankets and get really comfy for a moment and sit with the feet in Siddhasana or any other comfortable seat. And then I'm going to start to take my weight from one sit bone to the other and just start to find that wave through the spine to get really long and create space between each of the vertebrae. And you can move your shoulders around a little bit as you do that. Hit the crown of the head towards the ceiling. So just one thing to mention, maybe when we think about heart openers. So often what happens if we say, offer the heart or open the heart or lift the chest, what often happens is that we press the chest and the thoracic cavity forwards, but we begin to create more of a lower back arch, and if we stay there in this position, then eventually it's not going to feel very nice back here. So when I think about opening the heart, I think about connecting into the earth with whatever is on the floor. So it could be sit bones, hands, feet, whatever. And then finding that earth to core connection. So engaging and finding integrity through front body and back body. And then as you do that, if those two things are in place, then the heart can organically open, but you won't get this kind of crunching into your lower back. So it's almost, with heart opening, if you create the conditions for the opening to arise, the opening naturally arises. So don't think of a heart opener as just pressing the sternum, the heart, the chest forwards, because even though it might look pretty, it's not doing anything very kind to your lower back. So that's just one thing to think about as we practice today. Bring your hands down onto your knees. You're going to inhale, get super long through the spine. As you exhale, drop the shoulders away from the ears. Just allow the eyes to melt and close. Thumb and index fingers together. Chin Mudra, turn the center of the palms towards the ceiling. And just let the hands be really soft. Center of the palms open. Open to the energies around you. When we think about heart opening, what is it that we're really doing? Are we just opening a physical space? The muscle of the heart, or the energetic heart? What does it mean to you? And when we open our heart, do we open the doors to let people in? To let more of ourselves shine out? And then when we think about opening the hips, loads of different muscles that connect into the hips, lots of connective tissue in that area. So often a whole lot of tension to work through there. But in yogic terms, the hips are a place, especially for females, that we hold a lot of emotional baggage, things that we've just kind of stored away. And so we should approach hip openers with this intention of letting go. We don't need to think about what it is we're letting go, but to just let go. Begin to flutter your eyes open. Feel that intention together with your palms at your heart. And then release your hands onto your knees. And we'll begin. So, I'm just going to move your blankets off to the side. Bring your palms underneath your knees. Your palms underneath your shoulders. Knees underneath your hips. Just take a gentle wave of the hips side to side there. Want your belly drawing in and up, always to support the low back. Inhale, shoulders back, squeeze shoulder blades together. R for the heart, with the integrity of that core strength that you've got. Good, inhale there. On your exhalation, bend your elbows, round through the upper back. Now breathe into the back of the heart for a couple of breaths. Good, back to your neutral position. Tuck your toes, lift your knees, come into your downward facing dog. Just going to walk in place there. Inhale, take the right foot up to the ceiling. On your exhalation, draw your knee in towards your nose. Step your foot between your hands. We're going to inhale to halfway lift, lengthening the spine there. On your exhalation, drop your back knee down. Good, again, lengthening through the spine. On your exhalation, press yourself all the way to an upright position. Hold it there, squeeze your inner thigh. Think about the hips being side by side here. And inhale, reach for the ceiling. On your exhalation, fist of fire to your waist. You might drop into that front hip just a little bit more, but keep the sides of the belly moving in and up. Tailbone stays tucked. Good, one more time. Inhale, maybe drop a little bit more. Inhale there. On your exhalation, reframe the front foot. You're going to shoot it all the way back up to the ceiling and take some big circles with the knees. One direction and then the other, really fully articulating around the hip joint there on the right side. Place the foot back down. Inhale, take the left foot to the ceiling. On your exhalation, step the foot between the hands, drop the back knee. Inhale. Pause there for a moment and then inhale, really lengthen through the spine. Exhale, press into the front foot and come on up. So instantly you want to engage psoas, lower belly, and find the tuck of the tailbone. Good, inhale, reach. On your exhalation, fist of fire to your waist. You might want to drop into that front hip just a little bit more. Right, keep integrity through your center. Inhale, exhale. Good, inhale, reframe the front foot, step it back, downward facing dog. You're going to circle the left knee around a couple of times in each direction. Good. Bring the feet back to the floor. Inhale, lift the heels. On your exhalation, shoulders over the wrist, press into your feet. Inhale there. Exhale, bend the elbows, pubic bone down to the floor. Point your toes. Okay, from here, inhale, roll the shoulders up. Exhale, lift from the belly. A nice gentle lift of the chest as you inhale. On your exhalation, feel like you're pulling your heart away from you as you waterfall back down to the floor. Inhale, sit bones to the ceiling just a little bit. Exhale, lift from the belly. Inhale, gentle offering of the heart. Exhale, pull the heart away from you as you waterfall back down. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, exhale, lift belly. Inhale, exhale, release. Beautiful. Tuck your toes almost all the way back to a child's pose. Don't let your hands slide. And then rounding through the upper back, downward facing dog. Walk your feet together behind you. Inhale, bend everything. Exhale, a gentle hop towards the hands. Inhale to your halfway lift, and on your exhalation, fold and bow. Play with the stretch of the legs there. And then once again, inhale to halfway lift. I want you to pick your fingertips up, lengthen your spine, and then just hold it there for a moment. Good. See where you have to really hold to encourage the length of the spine, and then move the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale there. On your exhalation, feel that squeeze up from the pelvic diaphragm as you come up to stand. Inhale, elbows, fingertips to the ceiling. On your exhalation, fold all the way back down, bending the knees as you fold. Inhale, exhale, palms down, step it back, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Okay, here we're going to take the right foot up to the ceiling. On your exhalation, draw the knee in,
scooping it in, lifting the hips, step the foot between the hands and drop your back knee down. Okay, I'll turn and face you a little bit more so you can see. We're going to transition the hands to the inside of the foot and walk the foot a few inches towards the side of your mat and then turn that foot out a little bit. Okay, you're going to pick your back knee up and slide it back just a little way. And then you can untuck the back toes and see how it feels. You might want to actually flex the front foot and start to take the knee out to the side. So there's an option to use your right hand to press away. And from there, I want you to begin to open the heart up towards the ceiling. See what you can do about drawing the belly in and up, lower back in and up, and lengthening the spine there. Great. Take a deep breath in. On your exhalation, turn back to center, reframe the front foot, and then you're just going to pick the back leg up, squeeze the right heel into the right side sit bone, press it up, and then this time I want you to keep the right knee bent, take the foot over to the left, bend the standing leg, and then see if you can move the knee away from the hip a little bit more. Then begin to straighten the left leg. You might be able to begin to straighten out the right leg. See how that feels. Good, and then back to center. Step the foot back down to the mat. Inhale, take the left foot up. As you exhale, scoop knee in towards your nose. Lift and step the foot between the hands. Drop your right knee down. Bring both hands to the inside of that front foot. Walk the foot out towards the edge of the mat at about a 45-degree angle. Pick the right leg up and slide the right knee back. Okay, from there, flex the front foot and see if you can drop the knee out to the side. You might want to take your right hand a little bit further over and then use your left hand to press. So think about lengthening through the inner thighs. You press the knee away from you and you can begin to spin your heart open to the ceiling. See what you can do about really holding through center, lengthening the spine. So come back to the pelvic diaphragm breathing. So inhale, breathing all the way down to the belly, pelvic floor. Exhale, squeezing in and up to lengthen the spine. Maybe then the heart can open a little bit more organically. Beautiful. Okay, from there, reframe the front foot. Inhale, exhale, down dog splits. You're going to keep the bend in the left leg. Bend the right leg, begin to stack hips one on top of the other as you take the foot over to the right, and then you can begin to straighten out that bottom leg, really pressing into the center of the right heel, maybe straightening out the top leg. See how that feels. You can pulse back and forth. Inhale there on your exhalation. Bring your feet down, walk out in place. Walk your feet together behind you. Inhale, look forwards, prepare. Exhale, gentle hop. Inhale to halfway lift. On your exhalation, fold and bow. Inhale, halfway lift. Pause. Exhale, squeeze the breath in and up. Elbows, fingertips to the ceiling. Exhale, fold it all the way back down. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands. You can take a hop or a step back, downward facing dog. Inhale. Lift the heels, exhale, wave it forwards. Inhale there on your exhalation. Bend your elbows, pubic bone down. Release completely. Point your toes. Interlace your hands behind your back. Inhale, sit bones to the ceiling. Exhale, press the hips down. Lift the belly, begin to lift the chest. Hold it there. And then see if you can stretch your knuckles back to the wall behind you as you roll your shoulders away from the ears, maybe lifting the hands just slightly away from the buttocks. Take a couple of breaths there. If it feels appropriate, you can maybe begin to float your feet away from the floor and come back to this belly breath every time you exhale, maybe lifting a little bit higher. Good, slowly release. Bring your hand underneath your shoulders, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Okay, we're going to take the right foot up to the ceiling, inhale. On your exhalation, scoop the knee in, and then bring the right knee down by the right wrist. Slide your left leg back, so a little bit of a pigeon situation here. So this might be where you want to have your blanket, so the gap between your right sit bone and the floor, fill that gap with your blankets so you've got something to rest down on. Okay, walk your fingertips in. We're going to inhale, really lengthen up and away. Scoop the belly in and up. As you exhale, it's the same sensation of pulling the heart away from you and waterfalling towards the floor. Inhale, lifting up, offering the heart. Exhale, pulling the heart away as you waterfall down. Touch forehead. Inhale, last time. Exhale. Okay, beautiful. Walk your hands forwards. Find a position where you can stay. Resting your head for just a couple of breaths. And then from there, bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Okay, bend your back leg. Right, see how that feels. If the back knee talks to you, you can put a little bit of padding under the knee, or you can stay right here. Right, if it feels okay, we'll keep that for a moment. And then maybe reach back with your left hand and catch the outside of the foot. So you can pull the foot away from you and flex the foot into your hand, so that will begin to roll the shoulder open. Then you can come up onto the right fingertips and think about really kind of spreading through the center of the chest, but keep integration through center as you do that. And then take a deep breath in, and on your exhalation, you might come forward, place your forearm down on a diagonal and draw your heel into the same side sit bone, so your elbow will want to bend up towards the ceiling there. We'll do that one more time, so coming up onto the fingertips, pressing the foot away. Inhale, offer the heart. On your exhalation, forearm down, draw the heel in towards the same side sit bone. Good. From there, come on up again. So we can stay like this, or you can begin to try and hook your foot to your inner elbow crease. So that might work for some of you. If you do that, you want to kind of flex your toes into your inner elbow crease. You can take your right arm out, thumb and index fingers together. You may want to reach up and over, so hooking the hands, and you can reach the right elbow towards the ceiling. See how that feels? A couple of breaths. And then slowly release. Take your time. Place your hands down. You're going to step back, downward facing dog. Walk that out. Good, and then just come down onto your knees for a moment, and we'll prepare to go to the other side. Okay, moving your blankets over to the other side. Find your downward facing dog. Take your left foot to the ceiling and then draw your left knee close to your left wrist. Slide the right leg back. So finding your pigeon pose here. And then you just want to begin to pad underneath the left sit bone. So it's not necessary, but it just gives you that sense of being able to release onto something. And then walk your fingertips in. So here, the belly is moving in and up. The psoas moving in and up. So I'm not just pulling out into my lower back curve, right? There's energy through center. Inhale here. On your exhalation, begin to pull yourself forward, drawing the heart away from you. Good. Inhale all the way back up. Exhale. Last time. Inhale. Exhale. Find a position that you can stay for a couple of breaths. And just relax into it. Breathe into that stretch. Okay, from there, come up onto your hands, maybe your fingertips, and bend your right leg. If that doesn't feel good, don't go any further. Right, if it feels okay, you can reach back with your right hand and see how that feels. So initially I want to flex the foot, press the foot into the hand, roll the right shoulder open, come right up onto the left fingertips. Take a deep breath there. On my exhalation, I'm going to lay the left forearm down on a diagonal and draw the heel into its own sit bone. Good. Okay, coming back up, flex the foot, press away. Inhale, open the chest, exhale, release, draw the heel in. Very good. Okay, this time as you come up, you might stay right here. You might begin to slide your foot to your inner elbow crease, and that might be exactly where you stay. You might take your left fingertips out. You might hook your hands and see if you can draw your elbow up towards the ceiling. Take a deep breath there. On your exhalation, release everything. Slowly make your way back into downward facing dog. Walk your feet off the sides of your mat, press it back, and then wiggle your tail, your hips side to side. Walk your feet back to the mat, draw your knees to the floor, and sit back onto your heels. Great. Okay, so we are now going to do a pose, King Arthur pose, and we're going to use the wall. So you're going to bring your mat against the wall, perpendicular to the wall, and you'll want maybe 1 or 2 blankets here. So I'm going to place the blanket right into the corner of the wall, so there's a little bit of blanket running up the wall and a little bit of blanket on the floor, and you'll see why. And then you might need this other blanket, so have it close at hand. So what I'm going to do here is come to kneeling in front of the wall, and then I'm going to start by taking my left knee into the corner of the wall. So you really want it to be in tight there. And then I'm going to step my right foot forwards. So honor the space of the pelvis, so don't put your foot in front of your knee. Put it over to the side. And then from there, I'm going to bring one hand and then the other up onto the top of the thigh. All right, so you should probably begin to feel this here. So I want to draw the belly in and up and lengthen the spine. Press into the front foot. So the other blanket, if your foot feels sore on the wall, you can actually bring the blanket and just pad out the back of that foot a little bit. So the idea here is I'm going to keep pressing away from the front foot and begin to take my back towards the wall. So you want to find that the tailbone is tucking under, the front of the pelvis is lifting. So you can stay where you need to stay there. If you can find the wall with your back, maybe your shoulders, okay, maybe the tailbone can scoot underneath you a little bit there, and just breathe into it. So that's a pretty intense one, preparing for our next pose. Few breaths there. And then slowly release. To come down, I normally put my opposite knee down first, walk away, and then I'm going to bring the right knee in, so right into the corner, left foot. So the foot on the wall, sorry I forgot to say this on the last slide, but it's a little bit out, so it's a little bit more like a Virasana leg. So it's not directly behind the sit bone, but the heel's slightly out to the right. From there, you can begin to press one hand and then the other onto the top of the thigh and begin to lift and draw the belly in and up. So again, lots of action and integrity through your center. And then over time, you can kind of find your place there where you need to be. You might be able to come all the way back to the wall. Maybe not, this one's intense, so be where you need to be. Take a few breaths there. Great. Okay, and slowly release. So bringing the left knee down, walking the right knee in. Just pause for a moment, feeling that. Great. Okay, from there, we're going to just move the blankets off to the side. We won't need them again. Come into a standing forward fold. Begin to interlace the hands behind you. You're just going to sweep the arms up and over the head. Play the little stretch of your legs there if you like to. And then let the fingertips dangle towards the floor. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, pick yourself up from your belly. And then shake out the hands and shake out the legs. So we're going to come into dancer pose now. So this is quite a, it's a lovely pose. It involves, balance. And lots of different opening that we've been working on. So it might be that you want to work at a wall to begin with. So you've got a little bit of support there, so that's an option. So what I want you to do is draw into center and imagine a line down from the navel towards the floor, like a plumb line. Take that line over your left heel and then pick the right knee up and draw the heel in towards its own sit bone. Then you're going to take the right hand and catch hold of the outside of the foot. From here, squeeze your knees together and then begin to press the pelvis forwards. Okay, so either you're going to come forwards and put your fingertips on the wall, or just find a spot that you can gaze at about eye height. First action, I'm going to begin to flex the right foot and then begin to press the foot away from me. So I'm going to bring the left arm up, and you can do whatever you like with your fingertips. Chin mudra there is really nice. So I'm going to try to keep my torso quite upright. And then I'm going to start to kick the foot away from me. And you can just hold it for a few breaths. And then see if you can kick up a little bit higher. Try to keep your hips side by side. Keep the heart open. Keep pressing the foot towards the ceiling. Okay, take a deep breath in. On your exhalation, release. Release the feet. Shake out. Well done. Okay, second side. Draw energy into center. Draw that plumb line down to the floor. Take the plumb line over the right heel this time. Pick the left leg up. Catch hold of the outside of the left foot with the left hand. Okay, before you go anywhere, squeeze your knees together, press the pelvis forwards, and then begin to press the foot into the hand. So keep that foot nice and active. As you begin to tilt the pelvis forwards, take the right hand up, do whatever you like with that right hand, and then keep the left foot into the hand. So don't be in a hurry to go anywhere here, just concentrate on your breath and finding your balance, and then organically that foot will begin to rise towards the ceiling. A little bit more, a little bit more. Okay, take a deep breath in. On your exhalation, release. And come back to standing. Very nice. So you can repeat that one a few times if you want to. We're just going to finish off here with just another very kind of silky, soft, releasing sun salutation. So I want you to bend your knees and let everything kind of go, let the shoulders round. Begin to find that grounding force reactions as you press into the ground. Find the energy, scoot the energy up through the legs, out through the sit bones, and then begin to lift through the front of the belly, the lower back, elbows, fingertips to the ceiling. Inhale, reach. Exhale, slow motion as you release. And as you release, bend the knees. Let the head go, let the arms go. Beautiful. Okay, again, slow motion. Inhale, press into the floor, lengthen the legs, lift the belly, lengthen the spine. On your exhalation, palms down. Step back, downward facing dog. Find your place there, take a couple of deep breaths. Walk it out if you want to. Okay, from here, you're just going to lift your heels up a little way and then begin to round a little bit through the upper back as you come forwards. So So you'll feel like you're sliding your heart forwards, and then from there, press your heels back and let your head just drop down between your hands. Okay, inhale, lift the heels high. On your exhalation, wave forwards to a plank. Inhale there. On your exhalation, bend your elbows, drop your pubic bone, point the toes, spider your hands off your mat. Inhale, shoulders back. Exhale, just going to lift up a little way, make it feel good, and then begin to turn. So you're going to turn to look over your left shoulder towards your left toes. Back to center, right shoulder, back to center, release. Release your head onto your hands, big toes together, heels apart, rock out the hips there. Great. Plant your hands underneath your shoulders, come up onto your knees. We're going to inhale and scoop the heart forwards. On your exhalation, bend your arms and round through your upper back. Take a couple of breaths there. Great. Begin to walk your hands in. Come up onto your knees. From here, I want you to tuck your toes. Inhale as you press your sit bones wide as if you're going to sit back onto your heels. On your exhalation, scoop the pelvis forward, scoop the tailbone underneath you, lift the below belly in and up. Inhale, press it back. Exhale. Good. Inhale. Exhale. This time bring the hands onto the lower back. You can begin to roll the shoulders open. So I want you to use your hands to press the buttocks down and in, so that creates a lot of space for the sacrum there. See what you can do about lifting the sternum up to the ceiling. And then engage, so draw, even though it takes out some of the shape of the pose, draw the belly in and really lengthen through the spine. From there, don't lose any of that, but just see if you can reach one of your ankles. If you can reach the opposite ankle, and then maybe there, press the front of the pelvis forwards. Keep the belly lifting. Keep the head in a neutral position, so don't drop the head back. And then just breathe there and see if you can really breathe a little bit more space around the heart. Few more breaths. As you exhale, squeeze the breath up from the pelvic diaphragm and see how that feels. And then slowly release one hand and then the other onto the lower back. Big toes together, press it back into a child's pose. And we're just going to stay here, releasing for about the next 30 seconds. If you feel any tension along the back or the lower back, see if you can breathe some space and some softness into those areas. Raise your head, begin to walk your hands in, and then come to lay down on your back. So for this, I want you to grab hold of your blankets and just roll them together. So you've got a little bit of a roll there that you can pop just underneath the backs of the thighs. And then as you roll down to come to final relaxation, that should feel like it's giving the front of your pelvis a little bit of space there. You can take your arms out, snuggle into the floor, find your place. So if the lower back bothers you, bend your legs, knees together, or you can just lift your hips, curl tailbone, and release. If it's your middle back that bothers you, then press your femur bones away from you and just begin to traction a little bit through the spine. Take a few deep breaths like that. And then see how it feels to you once again. Spread out. Relax the inner corners of your eyes, the outer corners of your eyes. From behind closed eyes, turn the gaze of the eyes down towards the cheekbones. Let your tongue soften into the floor of your mouth. Swallow if you feel any tension in the center of the throat. Allow your bones to drop heavily into the floor. And with your bones, muscles, flesh, connective tissue, inner organs, and the very outer coating of your body, your skin. See if you can bring a fluid quality to the body. And just remain here, riding on the waves of your breath for the next couple of minutes. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, let out a sigh. A couple more breaths like that, just really allowing these final moments of release to just brush away any residue that practice might have dug up for you. And then begin to bend the knees in. You can roll over to one side. Come up really slowly with your head just hanging like a ripe piece of fruit until your spine is straight. Then bring your head back to center. Draw your palms together at the center of your chest. When we talk about brushing away residue or letting go, in yoga, this is kind of like we're peeling back the layers of an onion, or washing away maybe layers that are built up over time on a window. And so as we begin to wash these away, we can begin to see a little bit more clearly, and the light inside of all of us can begin to shine more brightly. So it's not about being different to who you actually are, it's just about being more of who you are and celebrating that. With that in mind, take a deep breath in. On your exhalation, bow your head to your heart to honor yourself. Namaste.